My respects.
Excuse me.
I don't think so.
Apparently, the city council is organising another collection for repairs to the fortifications.
I've got a feeling you're looking for me, Henry. I'm glad you helped us, but I'm not going to wait for you all day, so...
Your father sent me.
So I can tell you how to get to our fortress. A task for the lowest lackey, wouldn't you say? Well, you don't need to answer that.
Right, yeah. That's exactly why he sent me. But how...
What are you staring at? Do you think I was born yesterday? I was listening to you from the top of the stairs. So, this passage, it leads to the cellars, but the outside entrance is hidden underground in a forest, not far from the castle. You can find the exact place if you know where and how to look.
Is it in a cave hidden behind a waterfall?
Well, no. But it would be nice. Listen, nearby Malashov is a stud farm managed by Hashtal, an old friend of Papa's. We had a wayside shrine set up at the crossroads before the stud farm.
A wayside shrine? How do you mean?
Are you a Christian at all? Never mind. It's a big white column. You can't miss it. From the shrine, you should be able to see a group of boulders. Beyond them are the remains of an old chapel. You have to find it, and then there's a kind of... how can I describe it? A window. A gap you can look through.
If it's still standing.
I hope so too. Anyway, it should direct you towards some ruins. Go there. And now pay attention. Somewhere in those ruins is a stone cross. You have to find it and look where its top points to. If you go the way the cross is pointing, you'll find another one, and again follow the direction it's pointing in. That should lead you to a small clearing, marked by a cross in the rocks. You dig there, and you should get to the passageway.
Shit, that's damn complicated.
Of course it is. That's how I designed it. After all, you don't want any old idiot to find the secret passageway to your castle.
True enough. But call me an idiot and explain it to me once more, please.
Maybe in a while. But first we have to discuss something more important. Getting into the castle is the easy part. Don't forget, you have to get out too.
You're right. Horses will be needed. For me and for Capon.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Fortunately, I know how to arrange that. Stop off at the stud farm I told you about, and ask Hashtal for horses.
Are you serious? I just introduce myself and he'll give me horses just like that?
Exactly. Please tell Hashtal that Papa is still paying for masses for his dead father, as agreed years ago. And even if he's not too keen, tell him we'll pay him for the horses.
You got it well figured out. Thanks. Don't know how I'd manage without you.
You've done plenty to help, and now it's our turn. Papa said something like that, didn't he? You know, you might not be aware of it, but you saved us from a mountain of trouble. Papa would never admit it, but alone, we wouldn't be able to resist the Mint Master for long. You've earned the right to the gratitude and friendship of our house for all time.
Would you like to come with me? At least I'll be sure to find that place.
Would you seriously want me there? What if something were to go wrong? Wouldn't a girl like me be more of a burden to you?
You're right. It's enough that I'm risking my own neck. I'd hate to risk yours, too.
Ah, what a truly chivalrous gesture. And before you head off, I'd like to ask you for one favour. But you mustn't breathe a word of it to anyone. Understand?
I'm listening.
I wanted to ask you, since you're going to be at Malashov, if you could bring me something from there.
And what might that be?
A book. It has great value to me, and I was starting to worry it would stay there forever. But if you're going there now...
And what book is this that's so important?
It's hard to explain to someone uninitiated in the mysteries of writing.
What do you mean, uninitiated? I happen to know how to read.
Really? Mea culpa. You are full of surprises, so if you do find the book, you'll be able to read it.
Well, yeah. That's the way it goes with books.
In that case, I'm not going to make it easy for you. If you'd like to know why it's so important to me, you'll have to find it first.
Fear not, my lady. I'll gladly tear the entire fortress apart to find that book for you.
Restraint, valiant knight. I value your determination, but this way would give yourself away immediately, and I'd remain without my book. Find it nice and quietly, then come back.
Your wish is my command.
It shouldn't be hard. The book is bound in scarlet leather and inlaid with gold. You won't find many like such there. And take this, so you don't get lost in the fortress.
Thank you.
It is quite possible you won't get back to Malashov again. So don't forget about me. And Henry, be careful.
Oh, and about that secret passage to Malashov. How did you find that secret passageway back then?
I'm glad you ask, because it's a really interesting story. It all started when I was 12. One morning, I found a bat nailed to the Malashov gate. Peculiar, eh?
Not really. Bats are creatures of the night. They flit around while good Christians are asleep, often carrying out the will of witches, or even the devil himself. But a bat nailed up actually repels all evil and protects the house against sickness.
Well now, I have to admire your knowledge. That's exactly what the chambermaid told me too. The thing that I was most interested in was where they got that bat. You know, I was awfully inquisitive back then. Embroidery wasn't exactly my passion, and Papa forbade me from riding out into the woods, so at least I explored the fortress from top to bottom.
I know all about that. Not that I ever embroidered, but Pa never let me stray too far from home.
Parents have no understanding for the adventurous soul, do they? But back to the bats. I found out from the guards that they caught the poor creatures somewhere in the cellars. So I went to have a look there and found a whole swarm of them. I followed them for a while, and I noticed that in one corner they simply disappeared into a wall. Strange, isn't it? I was full of curiosity, and I talked Papa into having the wall demolished. I remember there was even a priest there at the time, and he wasn't at all happy about it. He was afraid we'd dig into hell. But as you probably guessed, there was nothing behind the wall but a passageway leading off into darkness.
My word, you're right. That is a really good story. And I didn't expect that ending at all. You're really sharp. And hard-headed when you latch onto something. Well, that's something I admire.
Hard-headed? Aren't you a bit impertinent? I'd rather say determined.
Have you ever used the passage?
No, it's never been needed, thank God. But everything is ready there. There's a strong door and a ladder that we can pull up behind us. That ought to give us enough time to get to the end and dig our way out.
Sorry, I've got a bit lost in all this.
At the crossroads near Hushtal's behind them. Go there, again.
Sure.
And don't forget...
Why did your people mark the passage from outside?
Papa came up with that. He said one never knows what might happen, so I thought up the idea with the crosses. Why do you ask anyway? Would you rather search all over the woods for it?
No. It's really smart and very convenient for me. Thanks again.
Coughing his lungs up in the yard again today.
Not a chance. That old coot will outlive us all. No, it was Jan, the beanpole.
Him? Bee was fit as a fiddle. What happened?
They say he went to bed healthy, but never woke up. It's a mystery.
God, that's terrible.
His mother said he'd been complaining he couldn't feel his left arm, and that he was seeing things.
And he was dead in the morning. Poor thing.
Aye, he had his whole life in front of him, and next thing you know, he's been buried.
Hey, unless you want to end up the same, I'll get you!
Matt!
Bad luck. I've been waiting for you. Didn't see that one come.
Greetings.
Good evening. What do you need?
God.
The Ruthard sent me.
What's that to do with me? Those days when Ruthard was the Lord of Malashoff are over. I don't want to have anything more to do with him, so you can be on your way.
He sends you his regards. And he asked me to remind you that he's still paying for masses for your family, as the two of you agreed.
Sakura. Nobody knows about that but him.
That's why he told me. So you'd be sure I really did come from them, and this isn't a trick.
Well, that changes things. Sorry for being a bit hostile-like, but times are tough. A man can't be sure of anything. Good to hear that Sir Quinlan still has a few friends left. Give him my greetings, and thank him for still honoring our agreement.
Sure. I'll pass that on to him.
So, tell me, what did the Ruthard send you for?
I'm planning a certain enterprise. Something that the new lord of the castle certainly won't be happy about.
An enterprise, you say? I reckon it's best not to ask what that might be, eh?
That would be wise. And I need you to get fresh, fast horses ready for me.
That's quite a lot you're asking of me. A fresh, fast horse don't come cheap. But fine, since you're from Sir Quinlan, I'll have it ready for you. Somewhere a bit further from here so I don't get in the shit if things go sideways.
Of course. The last thing I want is to endanger you unnecessarily. And the Ruthards promise to pay for the horse if it comes to any harm.
All right. So look, here next to the stud farm there's a kind of band of rocks below the forest. When you go alongside the rocks to the end, you'll find a wooded copse not far from the castle. There's a well-trodden patch of ground there, so that's where I'll have that horse ready for you. Hopefully, nothing will happen to him if I just leave him there. Recently, there's been wolves and wild dogs sniffing around here, so we have to watch out for the animals.
Thanks. I'm obliged to you.
You ought to be. I wish you the best of luck. I reckon you'll need it.
I'd like my horse bathed and its tack cleaned, please.
As you wish, but it will take some time.
I'll pay. Here are your groschen.
Thank you very much. Now then, where is this beauty of yours?
You can get going now.
Whoa! This must be the chapel Rosa was talking about. I'm supposed to look through its arch for some old ruins. Well, let's see. The chapel directed me here. There's no doubt about that. So somewhere around here, I have to find a stone cross, and then go in the direction the top is pointing. A cross in stone. This could be the place Rosa mentioned. I'll grab the spade and see if I'm in the right place. Tough job, but it was worth it. The way to Malashov is clear. Now I get it. Those boards were supported by beams to hold the earth above, so there didn't have to be as much of it. Hidden and firm. Really smart. It's a good thing they did it that way too, so I didn't have to dig as much. The ladder Rosa mentioned. In an escape, it'd be enough to pull it up, and that'd leave any pursuers stuck. Just hope it can hold one attacker. Damn it, that's cold. This must be the door Rosa was talking about. Here are the iron cleats and the barrier beam, just like she said. When Capon and me are escaping, we can board it up so they can't follow us. Eternal praise to the Roothards and their ingenuity. This looks like it could be the wall of the Malashov cellars. There's no going back. This is it. All right then. Courage, Henry. Courage. You can do this. This is going to take a while.
And Ruthard and Liechtenstein are turning the Kuttenberg houses against us.
Bavag will deal with Ruthard. But Liechtenstein is your concern. How come you haven't caught him yet?
He's slippery as an eel. He's hiding somewhere in the Jewish quarter. I sent spies to track him down, but they never came back.
Flush him out of that hole of his. For fuck's sake!
Why such concern, Otto? Kuttenberg is ours. Sigismund has the reins firmly in his hands.
He's got fuck all in his hands. Sigismund thought at first he'd come to terms with his brother Wenceslas, clear the way for him to the imperial throne, and take the Bohemian throne for himself. But Wenceslas couldn't even get off his drunken ass and go to Rome for the coronation. And now, the glorious Hungarian king has fallen for Jobst and his damned truce. He's been taken in by that treacherous turncoat.
Jobst betrayed Wenceslas. Then Sigismund. And now us. He fooled all of us. But what can he really do against us?
I'll tell you what. While pretending to parley, he incensed the Hungarian nobles against Sigismund.
Surely Sigismund's army can deal with that inconvenience.
Ha! He was paying his Cumans by letting them pillage Bohemia. He set half the people against him in the country he wants to rule. And now, there is nothing left to plunder. While we are shuffling our feet here, Jobst is surely mustering an army.
What are we going to do?
We've got Cabon. That'll keep Hanush and the Lipa people at bay. If they ever want to see their heir alive.
Jobst has Liechtenstein mustering other allies for him. We get him in our grasp, and Jobst will be like a fish out of water in Bohemia.
I'll drag him out of that Jewish den with my own 2 hands. Count on me, sir.
The betrayers of Christ, hiding a betrayer. They are rich. All that's needed is a good pretext.
The Kuttenbergers will be quite happy if their debts to those usurers happen to go up in smoke.
Yeah.
You're learning fast, young man.
Keep the gate open.
A horseman, sir!
Hanush is out of the game. The Kuttenbergers are taken care of, and we'll catch Liechtenstein. You'll see, my friend. Good times are coming.
Your Graces, King Sigismund is convening the town council, but first he requests your presence at the Sedlitz monastery, without delay.
What's all the urgency about?
Surely you must know that yourself, sir. The captives fled Trotsky Castle and killed Istvan Toth while escaping.
What?
That's not possible. That's a lie.
It is true, Lord Toth is dead.
Who? Speak!
The messenger said something about Cobbler's bastard and some outlaws.
I swear, by everything that is holy, I will find that horse son, and I will rip out his heart!
Jesus. What's with that boy?
Sir Istvan was like a father to him. You better go. Bring the horses!
Shame about that dog.
Lord von Berghoff
Luck was
had
on
to
my
leave on
side.
important
Now to
business
find
for King
Capon
Sigismund.
and get out of
He
here.
took a small escort with him, so the garrison is slightly weakened now. So, Be extra alert on your watch. If I find anybody slacking off, they'll get the whip.
You got it, Conrad.
Diepold, I'll send Hyman to the gate. You'll be in charge of the southern and eastern fortifications.
All right, Conrad. I'll get right on it.
Franz, run along back to the guardhouse and get some sleep so you don't fall asleep during the night watch.
Aye, don't worry.
The rest of you know your orders. You'll be sorry if you don't. Dismissed. And don't drink too much.
Got it, comrade.
Vitek, that cart is starting to get on my fucking nerves.
I understand. I'll get right on it.
And tell Drahomira it's getting late, so she won't forget to take some food to our honored guests. I gave her the keys so I wouldn't have to fuck around with it myself.
Don't worry, it's already taken care of. I saw her taking it to them.
Well, that's great. That woman must be the only one I can rely on.
Don't dare bleed to death before I... Go to hell!
I'll hack you
I'm
up
all
like
yours. Now you see what you done with fuck around, gangsters.
Oh, bleeding, are we?
I'm all yours.
Wanted to get your mark.
Pillory.
Brace them head.
Shove you up on the spot. Now you're finished. Don't think I will
Jesus
catch you.
Show your stuff!
Punishment by the blade.
Now you'll see what we do with criminals, bastard! Show what you...
By the blade! My favorite! Do it!
You wanna try me? Don't think I won't cut you to pieces!
What is happening? Who are you?
Quiet. If you make a peep, we're done for.
Henry?
Good God, Henry.
What are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing? Hunting boar? Came to save your noble arse.
My noble arse thanks you. Oh, how did you get here?
I'll tell you later. Who's this?
Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. At your service.
Brabant led the defense at Kuttenberg. He's Sigismund's prisoner, same as me.
And I came very close to holding the town. Besides...
There's no time for chit-chat. He's our ally. We can't leave him behind.
Right, no doubt you've got a cunning plan for us to get out of here, right? Well, let's hear it.
Of course I have a plan. Listen, I got to the fortress through a secret passageway that old Ruthard told me about. Von Bergov knows nothing about it.
C'est magnifique! Very cunning.
They know in the fortress now that something's up, but we can handle it. We're lucky von Bergov left the fortress along with von Aulitz and some of the garrison. So I'll take you to that passageway, and we'll get out of here. We'll get to the forest not far from here. I'll have some horses ready there. We'll be gone before you can say the Lord's Prayer.
Formidable! I call that an elegant plan. I myself had to sneak like that once during the siege of Arezzo. So, what are we waiting for? On y va?
Wait. A passageway, you say? A dark, narrow passageway?
Well, it's just a passageway. There's a bit of water in it to wade through, but nothing we can't handle.
You can forget about it. I'm not going through any passageway.
What the fuck?
Let me repeat. No passageway for me. It's not the chivalrous way.
It is not chivalrous, c'est vrai, but in our situation, it is more than delicious.
Oh, and how would you like to get out of here chivalrously, your lordship?
What do I know? We could maybe break down the gate.
Un moment. Henri, you said that von Bergov left. Is that not so?
Yes.
And what about horses? Are there any horses left here?
I think there's a couple, yeah. In the lower courtyard.
Très bien. That will be enough. We just have to get to them. But I think we could get there stealthily. It is not far from the tower to the stables. Then you simply open the gate, et voila, we are gone. Just like I escaped when surrounded by that English dog John Oakwood. It may not be the best plan. It was not back then either. But we simply had no other choice.
That's a wonderful plan. No passageways. But we need some weapons.
Exactement. To have a proper piece of steel in my hand again. Preferably Milanese, although I would be satisfied with something local.
Thanks, Henry. I feel better already.
A nice piece. And what do you have for me? Mince! But I need some weapon!
So, this is how we're gonna do it.
C'est incroyable! I have fought on the battlefields of 5 countries, but I do not get a weapon! I take this personally.
Don't complain, damn it. According to what you told us, you can handle 10 men with your bare hands. So now you have a chance to show us. Henry?
Now, we don't have time to play hide and seek. Let's take the shortest route to the horses. And if someone tries to stop us, we'll fight our way through.
Are you sure? Wouldn't it be better if we went ahead and took stock of the situation?
Je suis d'accord. I would not risk more than is absolutely necessary.
Fine. You're right. I'd better go first and let you know when it's safe to come.
And how will you let us know?
Well, the stables can be seen from the entrance hall. If you signal us with a torch from next to the horses, we'll head towards you.
Agreed. Good idea. Wait for my light.
But you must be absolutely certain that the way is clear. If you have any doubt, do not risk our lives. Better to come back to us, and we shall go together.
True. And if we don't hear from you or see your signal for a long time, we'll try to make it on our own.
Précisément. We cannot sit here forever.
Right. Got it. I'm off.
Brabant, keep watch by the stairway. I'll go to the window and wait for Henry's signal.
I think it would be better if you went the stairs. What's that? You are younger. Eh bien, I will watch the stairs if Monsieur le Chapon so insists.
Fuck! Sooner or later they'll find us here. We must do something.
Pray for a quick death, you bastard!
The horses are here. As soon as it's safe, I should give Capon the signal. Well, that's that. Now I just need to wait for Capon. Lord Jesus Christ, stand by our side.
Admit, mes amis, the last time I have had such a suspense. was when I was rescuing the King of France. We, monsieur, are surely brave, and fortune favors the brave. Free at last!
Thank you for coming for me, Henry. You're a great friend. The best I could wish for.
After today, you may also count me among your friends. I, Vauquelin Brabant, chevalier, aventurier et voyageur. I'm at your service, mon brave Henri. And I have an excellent idea. In your honor, I shall name my new horse after you.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Vacula.
My name is Vauquelin.
Vauquelin?
Vauquelin. Vauquelin.
Vauquelin... would you mind if I just call you Brabant?
Brabant.
Brabant?
Que peut-on y faire? It will have to do. Do not concern yourself, mon ami. Clearly, you are not talented in the art of conversation. But at least you have courage and other skills. You carried out the entire operation truly brilliantly. I could not have done it much better myself. And look, mon ami, how the fresh air suits Monsieur Chapon. He has finally stopped drowning in self-pity.
What self-pity, damn it? I was locked up for days in a tiny stinking room.
Ah, come now, mon cher. Luck was simply not on your side for once. That is all. Now we are finally free. The time has come for grand deeds. I did not waste my time in captivity. I fought everything over diligently. Listen.
Please, I'd prefer not to.
What's troubling you, Sir Hans?
What do you think? It all turned to shit again, and I ended up in captivity. I'm thankful at least that Hanush won't have to pay von Bergov a ransom for me. I'd never live that down. But I'll still have to listen to another lecture from him about how useless I am. Or do you have a different feeling about our Trotsky mission?
True. Not everything went according to plan. Actually, almost nothing went to plan. But at least I finally got revenge on Istvan. That Horson got what he deserved. Believe me.
My Christ, you got Ishbal! That's welcome news. No one will miss that fucker. Nice work, but I don't think that'll help me much with Hanush.
Jobst is hatching his plans. Soon we'll kick Sigismund out of this country, and I think the bold Sir Hans will still have a chance to prove himself.
Mais oui! I must meet your Jobst de Moravie. I have some clever ideas about how to strike against le roi Sigismund.
Yeah, you go and chat with Jobst. At least I can get good and drunk in the meantime. We should spur the horses on. God knows, they might be hot on our heels. Yeah! Christ, wounds. Such destruction and havoc.
War. Monsieur Chapon, you have yet to participate in a real battle. But I fought against les Valaques at Naples, and les Anglais in Bourgogne. And that is how war looks, whether in Italy or La Bohème. It is always the same.
That's not war, it's barbarism. What value did this village have?
Eh bien, I would estimate 5 courtyards. Annual revenues could be perhaps, several hundred groschen.
That's not what I meant, Bakalin. No fortress. Maybe one fortified courtyard? Practically insignificant militarily. That's not how war should be fought. This is unjust.
Do not give way to sentimentality, monsieur. A village could harbor spies and saboteurs or supply the enemy, and destroying enemy assets is an effective tool of war. Wars are not decided only in battles. There are not even many of those. To strike in the rear, make the enemy lose and bleed. That is how most conflicts are fought. However, wait a year or two, the village will be settled. The population will increase again. That is how it always happens.
But we're the nobility. Our task is to lessen the chances of such things happening. Here!
Of all the bandits in the whole wide world, we run into this pair of scoundrels.
We... I fucked everything up.
Oh, get up, lad. Everyone makes mistakes. Only a better man owns up to them. At least we know now what kind of vermin we're dealing with.
What brings you here? We just escaped from Malashov, and right now
There's no time for haste. One thing at a time, my boy. Word reached Ratai that you pair got yourselves into a nice mess. I'm glad to see you both in one piece. So, let's hear it. What happened?
It's best if Henry tells you. I wasn't around for half of it.
no sooner had we spied Trotsky on the horizon than everything started to go to hell. We made camp by a pond with the intention of heading for the castle at first light, only we were ambushed by bandits in the evening. They killed all our men and took everything they could carry, including the letter for von Berghoff.
And how did you two manage to get out alive?
Just by a stroke of good luck. We were both in a bad way. We might not have made it if a local herb woman hadn't taken care of us.
Only after that, we couldn't get into the castle, though. We looked like a pair of beggars.
And the bastards treated us as such.
But you did get into Trotsky in the end, didn't you?
Von Berghoff received us and heard us out. It seemed like he was on our side. We even helped him out several times. Until we found out he was just stringing us along. It all came out after we set out with von Berghoff's men to deal with the bandits who were rampaging in his domain. The same ones who attacked us at the start.
Only they ambushed us and took me and Henry captive for ransom.
But it turned out these very outlaws are on our side. They're fighting for King Wenceslas on the orders of Sokol of Lamberg.
Well, I'll be damned.
So von Berghoff has been the real enemy all this time. And Zhishka is actually our ally.
Zhishka? Zhishka? He's the captain of those outlaws. That name doesn't ring a bell.
I think you'll meet him soon enough.
What impression did he make on you?
He's an interesting fella. Handy with a weapon, but also pretty tricky. It's best to keep a fella like that on your side.
He made quite an impression on me, for one. I'll be happy to see him again. But if only it didn't have to be in Rapport. Why Rapport? Of all the places in the world.
We're riding to a gathering of King Wenceslas's supporters. If fortune favors us, the future fate of the kingdom will be decided there.
If we keep standing around here gabbing about it, it'll be decided without us.
Patience, my friend. This pair have just returned from the clutches of the enemy. No doubt they have something to tell us.
Like how in the devil did you manage to escape?
I was helped by the Ruthard family, the former rulers of Malashov, in exchange for dealing with some trouble they had with Ulrich of Raditz.
Ulrich Favak? But he's the mint master.
Well, he won't be for long. If it comes to light that he's been putting his sticky fingers on the royal silver.
It seems you've been pretty busy.
But don't forget to say what you found out from von Bergov in Malashov.
Sigismund has convened the city council. Markvart von Aulitz will be there with him, too. The word is, Sigismund is going to make an important announcement there.
He picked a nice time for it. But at least he won't be sticking his nose into what's going on around.
Can we go to Raborsch with you? We could certainly use a drink, a bite to eat, and a comfortable bed.
I wish I could say yes, son, but the City Council Assembly is a big opportunity. Young Lord Capon will go with us to Raborsch, but you'll have to return to the city right away, and try to worm your way into the town hall.
What? How can I get in there? I can't just walk in off the street.
You've got the dirt on Vavak, and you don't know how to use it? Just tell him either he gets you into the council chamber, or you get him on the gallows.
It's worth a try, right?
I hope that assembly really is important. If Sigismund is just going to announce an increase in taxes, there's not much point in my being there.
Well, at least you can enjoy watching the long faces of the councillors when they hear it. And don't worry, I'll eat and drink in Raborsch on your behalf.
If I come back and find you there under lock and key again, I'll leave you to rot.
T'inquiète. I will go as well, and I will not let your friend out of my sight.
Hans? Who's this?
Vaclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo, at your service.
He was a captive of Lord von Bergov's, like me. He defended Kuttenberg against Sigismund.
In that case, he'll be a welcome guest at Raborsch.
You don't know what you're promising, Baron. Watching Sir Hans is a job and a half.
The main thing is to watch out for yourself, Henry. As soon as you can do so without raising suspicion, come and join us.
He'll manage it, but now we really need to hit the road.
Safe travel, Henry.
Adieu et bonne chance.
And to you. Hopefully we'll meet soon. I ought to go and see Rosa when I'm in town. No doubt she'd like to know how it went with that book.
Very nuts.
People walk here too, you know.
Keep your eyes on the road, you fool.
Slowly. Nice and slow.
Hear ye! Let it be known that a new one-off tax is to be levied in the city. Hey, good people! Now you'll learn that a church is rotten. Hear what man began.
Back. There, you hungry beast.
Mind where you're going.
Oh, bloated again.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
Actually not.
That's too bad. I think you would like it. And perhaps even learn a thing or two.
Why do you think so?
I just think you might find some common ground with the author. Not in absolutely everything, of course. That's just not possible. But in basic matters, I believe you'd agree. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal parts.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men. So I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
I think above all that she should be clever.
And isn't that rather detrimental for a girl?
Only fools say that. Jilted half-wits who met girls smarter than themselves.
You'd be surprised. My father is no fool, but at times he wishes I were more of a goose. Or better yet, that I would change overnight into a sun. But if the lady in our story is clever, should she employ her wits for good or evil?
I'm for good intentions.
If we come up with an interesting woman, it would be a shame to write her as evil.
I agree. Too bad it's only on paper. I'd like to meet Our Lady in the flesh. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Imagine a beautiful lady is standing before you and you are courting her. What would you do?
I'd rather keep what I do to myself. But how about something like this?
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. Go on, read it. I want to hear what you think of it. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
I haven't read it yet.
Well, go and make amends. I need a critical eye so I know what to improve. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
It was pretty obvious that you wrote it.
Really? And in what way?
Well, I'm not sure. I've known you for a while now, and it just seems like you're telling the story.
I'm not that good a storyteller in person. And don't forget, it's your work too. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
I'd like to expand my horizons a little. What's the last thing you read, for instance? Anything interesting?
You'd better believe it. I only read interesting things, and I can talk about them for hours.
Could you teach me something?
Why not? But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
I'd like you to show me some archery tricks. You shoot like a... well, a wild woman.
I prefer the term Amazon.
Will you teach me?
Listen closely, so I don't have to repeat myself.
Halt! Search! Show me what you've got on you! So then, search!
What's this about?
Search! Got anything stolen? Anything banned? Show me everything!
Not a chance. That old coot will outlive us all. No, it was Jan.
What's this nonsense? This is not the kind of conduct I expect. Do I look like some mangy thief to you? Ha! People these days. Unbelievable.
Ah, come now. Nothing too bad has happened, has it? You go right ahead, sir. Let's just forget I stopped you, eh?
Poor thing.
He had his whole life in front of him. And next thing you know, he's being buried.
Blessings to you.
Look what I have for you.
Here, mutt.
Greetings.
That's good. You know what? Maybe I'll buy one.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
Good to see you again, Volkmar.
No bloody way. It really is a small world.
You said you were headed to Kuttenberg, and that you'd repay me.
True, true. Actually, in my haste, I didn't even ask you your name.
Henry.
Pleased to meet you, Henry. You gave me a second chance, and I'll never forget that. I reckon I could teach you some useful things in return that not many people in this city know how to do.
Why not? I'll gladly learn something new.
I'm glad to hear it. But keep in mind, this will take some time, and I wouldn't mind some coin in return. My purse is a bit light these days.
You were the head smelter at Grund. Reckon you must know a lot about metals and processing them.
You're right about that. I know more about the trade than most. It's a shame I don't have anyone to share my experience with.
Sure you do. I'm a blacksmith myself. Reckon you could teach me something I could use at the forge?
You better believe it. We can start right away.
Hey, you hungry beast?
I'd like to learn something from you.
I'm glad to hear it. But keep in mind, this will take some time. And it'll cost you something too. But you won't regret it. You'll see.
You live in a tavern. You sit around from dawn till dusk. Reckon you enjoy some good ale, eh?
Not just ale. I like wine too. And I wouldn't turn my nose up at some nice schnapps either. But be careful. You can't drink them in the wrong order. Once your head starts spinning, you fucked up. And the next morning, you'll wake up with a splitting headache.
Well, then I reckon you'd be able to give me some good drinking tips.
You'd better believe it. We can start right away. God be with you.
My God, what's taking so long?
You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
What about your other girls? Are they all right?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught up in something. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that? That's the kind of thing you do when you want to send someone a message.
What are you going to do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but...
But you don't want to scare them.
I'm scared myself. For them. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. If someone was to follow me, I could give them away. And I can't risk that. I don't want anyone else to die because of me.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only scare them. I'll figure something out. In the meantime, find out everything you can about Alice.
Why did you ask me in particular for help?
Because you're the only one I know here.
Uh-huh.
But don't take it the wrong way. I'm actually glad it's you. You're pretty reliable. Not even Zhishka would be of much help to me here.
Uh-huh. Thanks. I know everything I need.
Good. Go to that graveyard, talk to the gravedigger, and take a look at that poor girl's body. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up with something.